Life is not the complicated puzzle you have been led to believe it is. It is not an impossible machine with hidden buttons and missing instructions. Life is simple. People make it complicated. Your expectations, your fears, and your interpretations are what create most of the chaos that feels so real. When you were young, you lived moment to moment. Children do not worry about productivity systems or 5-year plans. They simply exist. But somewhere along the way, society installs the adult programming package, which includes overthinking, stress, fear of judgment, and the belief that life must be predictable to be good. That belief is the beginning of suffering. The truth is that life has never once promised you consistency or order. It has only ever offered opportunity and uncertainty. Yet people cling to the idea that if they control enough variables, everything will unfold exactly how they want. This brings us to the first major shift in perspective. Control is an illusion. The more you try to control life, the less control you feel. It is like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips out. You can plan every hour, rehearse every conversation, and predict every outcome, but life will still do whatever it wants. This is not because life is cruel. It is because control is the wrong strategy. You are not the CEO of reality. You are the surfer. The ocean does not ask you for permission before sending a wave. Your job is not to command it, but to ride it. What you can control is limited but powerful. You can control your actions, your reactions, your standards, and your habits. You cannot control circumstances, timing, or other people. Once you stop trying to control the external world, life becomes noticeably lighter. Now let's talk about happiness. Most people chase happiness like it is something they can catch if they run fast enough. They say things like, "I will be happy when I make more money," or "when I find the right partner," or "when I finally fix my life." But happiness does not work that way. Happiness is not a prize at the end of a race. It is a side effect of living well. Your brain adapts to everything. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. You get something new, feel excited for a while, and then go right back to your emotional baseline. This is why chasing external achievements never permanently satisfies you. Once you accept that happiness is not a destination, you can stop running and start living. Happiness emerges from progress, meaning, connection, and contribution. It is built slowly, through the way you treat people, the routines you follow, and the way you show up for yourself. The less you chase happiness, the more space you create for it to grow. Now let's turn to your brain. Your brain is a brilliant machine, but it is not objective. It does not show you the world accurately. It shows you a filtered version designed for survival, not truth. These filters are called cognitive biases. They shape how you interpret everything around you. Confirmation bias makes you only notice information that supports what you already believe. The spotlight effect makes you think everyone is watching you, even when they are not. Negativity bias makes bad moments stick harder than good ones. Loss aversion makes you fear losing more than you appreciate winning. The halo effect makes attractive people seem automatically more capable, even when they are not. You cannot remove these biases. They are built into the system, but you can recognize them. Awareness is the closest thing to a superpower your mind has. Once you know your brain is bending reality, you can pause, question your assumptions, and choose a better response. That pause is where transformation happens. Let's move to the backwards law, a principle that quietly rules your life. The more desperately you want something, the more you push it away. Think of trying to fall asleep. The harder you try, the more awake you become. Think of trying to impress someone. The more effort you force, the more unnatural it feels. Creativity works the same way. It appears when you allow it, not when you chase it. The solution is effort without desperation, action without emotional gripping. You do the work, but you release the need for a specific outcome. A relaxed mind performs better than a tense one. Relaxed does not mean lazy. It means steady, focused, and unattached. Another key force shaping your life is your environment. You become like the people you spend time with, not someday, immediately. Your brain uses mirror neurons to copy the behaviors, attitudes, and emotional patterns of those around you. If you are surrounded by negativity, you absorb negativity. If you are surrounded by ambition, you absorb ambition. Your environment beats your willpower every time. It is easier to stay consistent when you are around people who reinforce the identity you want to build. You do not need to cut everyone off, but you do need to be intentional. Not everyone deserves equal access to your time, energy, or mind. Now let's talk about habits. Another invisible force that quietly shapes your destiny. A habit has three parts: cue, routine, and reward. The cue triggers the behavior. The routine is the action, and the reward is the satisfaction your brain receives afterward. Habits run on autopilot, and they never fully disappear. You cannot erase them, but you can replace the routine with something healthier while keeping the same cue and reward. For example, when you feel stressed, instead of scrolling for 20 minutes, you might take a short walk, breathe, or stretch. Same cue and same reward, but a new routine. The more you repeat the new routine, the stronger the new pathway becomes. Half your day is run by habits. If your habits are designed well, your life becomes easier. If they are designed poorly, life feels harder than it needs to be. This leads naturally into the compound effect. Small actions multiplied over long periods create massive results. People underestimate how powerful 1% improvements can be. If you improve slightly every day, by the end of the year you are dramatically different. The same applies in reverse. That is why negative habits feel harmless in the moment. They do not destroy your life instantly. They accumulate quietly. Your identity grows out of your repeated actions. You do not discover who you are. You build who you are. Every action is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. When you keep small promises to yourself, even tiny ones, you strengthen your identity. When you consistently break promises, you weaken your confidence. Finally, let's talk about the three-part framework that ties everything together. The first part is acceptance. Accept what you have no control over. This includes most external circumstances, other people, timing, and the randomness of life. Acceptance removes resistance, which reduces suffering. The second part is mastery. Master the things you can control, like your actions, your reactions, your habits, your mindset, and your preparation. These are the levers that shape your future. The third part is compounding. Do small improvements consistently without needing immediate results. Consistency is more reliable than motivation. Systems are more reliable than inspiration. Once you combine acceptance, mastery, and compounding, life becomes far less chaotic. You stop fighting what you cannot change and start focusing on what actually shifts the trajectory of your life. Small, repeated actions build identity. Identity shapes behavior, and behavior shapes outcomes. You do not need to transform your life overnight. You only need to move one thoughtful step forward each day. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are simply in progress. Just like everyone else. The difference now is that you understand how life actually works beneath the surface. And once you see these patterns, you cannot unsee them.